All right, GM InvArch Text. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Another InvArch Weekly Community Call starting Friday. Hope you grabbed your coffee or whatever it is you're drinking this morning. For me, it's just some Sprite. But thank you all once again for coming and joining us this morning. If you guys have been a part of our weekly community calls, you guys know how I like to start these things just by kind of going over like my week, some stuff that went on, and then maybe some stuff inside Sama that excited me. And then I like to kind of like let one or two people from the audience as well share theirs. So to get started, this week has been extremely eventful for me actually. So from finding out that my home has like some foundation damage that I need to repair, to I had ear surgery Wednesday, so nothing like major, but I found out that I had a benign cyst, uh, apparently, in my earlobe, and I thought it was a zit for like several months. Went to the doctor, and they were like, "No, that's a cyst, and they can hole punch them out of your ear." I learned that literally just the other day because they did it to me. So it's kind of crazy, but I no longer have feeling in my earlobe, so that's a thing. And I have a bunch of stitches back there that I have to go get taken out next week. But apart from that, um, all around it was a good week. If you guys were paying attention yesterday, we had a pretty major announcement, the LBP with Basilisk. So we've been waiting to announce that like all week. We've been super pumped in the back end of things. Like we knew that this was coming, so we were just really excited to finally actually release that to the community. But that's enough from me. Does anybody else want to take over for a second and also just share their week?
I guess I can add here. All right, AJ's here too.
Hey, Dustin, what's up,
What's up,
bro?
AJ?
Yo,
Hey,
what's up,
what's up,
man?
guys?
Hey,
The
Darwinia.
GM guys.
Yeah.
I'll let you go
Um.
first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyways. So yeah, I got back home. I've been traveling for a couple of weeks, back and forth in Nevada, and I'm helping my brother, who's like kind of building out this little small town in Nevada, into like a little city, I guess. And he kind of like runs a restaurant and a hotel. So we're thinking about getting some rental homes in the area and try to building up some rental homes and whatnot.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so I'm in like a little community. It's kind of cool. Like a
I'll be
puppy.
your first renter.
Oh,
Heard Nevada
sure.
was beautiful.
Oh, it's so amazing. I love it out there.
That does sound awesome, man. That does sound cool. All right, AJ, you want to share your week with us too, man?
Yeah, for sure. Not much different. I say talking on more of the work side or InVarch side of things. I mean, really just strapping down on what I'm doing, making sure that our social media is like super fine tuned. Um, but other than that, I mean, it's been a great week so far. I love the energy. I know I saw maybe some of you, but I yesterday's NFT party with Polkadot. I wasn't there physically, but I live streamed it. It was awesome. If you were there, you would have been the first to hear about the Basilisk and InVarch Tinkernet LBP announcement, which was pretty cool to see, even from a live stream point of view. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's been a good week.
Awesome, man. I'm happy to hear that. Um, I'm sure you are familiar as well, AJ. Like this week has been pretty heavy, like with announcements and just alpha and things like to share with you guys on our end. So like, it's been a very exciting and busy week for us on our end. So, um, yeah, I know like you, AJ, you've been killing it too on like our social media game. We've had so many tweets this week, like,
Oh,
but just so much to announce, like so much things to share with the community. Excuse me. Um, but with that being said, thank you guys for sharing with your all's week with the community members. I always like to do that to kind of just like nonchalantly kind of enter into the actual topics. It kind of gives it like a nonchalant kind of feel to the calls. Um, so Just to get right on in, so for those of you who aren't familiar or haven't noticed yet, GitArch actually has a Twitter profile. So this week we created a GitArch Twitter profile, and there is some actual like really cool alpha already posted there. So like here, I'll actually just drop the link to the tweet so you guys can just hop to it and look at it with me if you haven't seen it yet. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you don't have to, but you can if you want to. By all means. So there basically we have a current profile dashboard, like kind of a sneak peek behind it. So a place to manage your unstoppable code. Still to come is activity and ownership heat mats, pinned repositories, and profile README displays. So you can actually see the static demo for yourself here as well. I will drop the link there. It's very cool. I highly recommend for those of you who have taken the time to follow InvArch and Tinkernet, which I hope you have, that you also take the time to follow GitArch. Basically, it's one of our first like actual things that we're going to be providing like a DApp on. So it's very exciting. I hope all of you guys will like check it out, follow it. But we have a lot of exciting stuff that we're going to be posting there from here on out. So I highly recommend, once again, that you all follow it so you can keep up to date. Excuse me. But another thing, so there was actually a thread released there as well. This is already in the InvArch knowledge base. For those of you who have been using that, I've actually been getting a few messages about that, so that was really cool. But I wanted to take the time to actually read this thread aloud with some of our members of the community, because I know some of them they can't read English, but they can understand it. So just for those members of the community, please bear with me if you can totally understand this. I know it might be a little dry just reading through a thread, but I wanted to get this out for those members who can't. So I'll be quick. So GitArch is the most advanced, seamless, and unstoppable alternative to platforms such as GitHub and GitLab. Really quickly before I dive in, I'll drop the link to this, so if anyone wants to, you feel free to follow along. So GitArch is a truly decentralized and censorship-resistant hosting service for software development and version control using Git. Built on the InvArch network Tinker parachain, GitArch features Git repositories stored as NFT primitives. Unlike platforms such as Radical, GitArch isn't an alternative version control solution to the Git protocol, because Git is already a distributed protocol. There is an immediate UX difference compared to Radical. However, almost none compared to GitHub. There's no reinventing the wheel here. GitArch is designed to be a seamless alternative to GitHub, not Git. Instead, GitArch is built using the InV4 Git tool that integrates the Substrate IO palette-based InV4 protocol with the Git protocol. That's just a substrate. I was reading their name. The front end UI/UX are the same as what the world is already familiar with. In the fat stack, the back end, these Git repositories are being minted as NFT primitives, which featured advanced multi-sig features, the most advanced in Web3 actually. We actually have another thread on multi-signature accounts that we've shared several times in the community lounge. So if you guys scroll up, if you want to learn more about like the improvements that we've made to multi-signature, please check it out. It's actually very important, very cool information to get yourself familiar with. So highly recommend. More importantly though, GitArch is designed to be truly decentralized with no single points of failure or centralized dependencies. The Tinker parachain was the first Kusama network parachain to implement a light client solution. RPCs are no longer a point of failure. So while RPC censorship could cripple something like Radical, GitArch can stay true to delivering an environment where truly unstoppable code can exist. This isn't Web 2.5, this is Web 3 through and through. To this point, even the InV4 Git codebase itself is stored and hosted on GitArch. Currently, this is just a demo/staging area for the world to see. However, the world is invited to check out the repository here. And I will actually drop the link to the repository for those of you who are more into that kind of thing. You can just hop on in there, check it out. Very cool stuff. Unlike any other solution today, GitArch is designed to support and be empowered by a multi-chain future. The InvArch network will be secured by Polkadot and interoperable with other chains thanks to Substrate SDK. This extends to GitArch as well. In the near future, utility-specific chains like Phala Network for off-chain computation, Kilt Protocol for credentials and decentralized identity, Manta Network for ZK privacy layers, and Oak Network for cross-chain automation can all be seamlessly integrated with GitArch. This means that one day, GitArch will feature DID integrations for developer credentials, integrations for automated CI/CD tooling, privacy to protect developer identities, along with the so many more advanced integrations. GitArch will be directly connected the on-chain innovation funding protocol, which realizes NFT staking and donations. This applies towards repositories also. Community-driven funding models can be easily applied toward repositories, even repository donations. Finally, combine all of these features with the power of Polkadot's XCM format for cross-consensus messaging, and developers will be able to use GitArch as a single development hub where they can then deploy directly on any integrated chain. This means that a developer could write and store their code using GitArch on InvArch and then deploy directly to a virtual machine on a parachain such as A-Star, Moonbeam, or Composable. GitArch represents the future of code. Truly unstoppable code lives here, where it is then deployed across Web3. The GitArch V1 private beta will launch soon, and select teams will be approached to participate. Interested parties are advised to DM GitArch directly. So if you are interested in actually potentially taking part in that private beta, you just heard me read to you. If you click on the actual GitArch Twitter profile, it's encouraged that you all DM them directly. Because I know some people have actually reached out to me about that. So that's really, really cool. I highly recommend, if you guys are actually interested, like participating in that, very much so. I highly recommend you all check it out. And then one of the things that we actually were talking about just last night was back to the verifiable credentials. So verifiable credentials will be a key aspect of enterprise hiring, resume building, and decentralized collaboration. And so GitArch can feature an integration with, for example, Kilt Protocol, bringing the power of DID verifiability and privacy to the forefront of unstoppable code. And if you guys would actually like to see kind of a sneak peek of what this can look like, here's another like little image tweet that was literally just tweeted out yesterday. That kind of shows you guys what that will look like. If you guys look in the chat box there's an actual screenshot attached to that tweet. You guys can look at that and actually get a visual. Very, very cool. Okay, guys. So that is basically all the GitArch alpha that I have for you guys. I would 100% recommend that all of you guys, if you haven't yet, follow GitArch on Twitter. There's going to be a lot of exciting updates being pushed there as well. I'm sure InvArch and Tinkernet will be retweeting these, of course, but if you want to stay up to date and on top of it, make sure you follow GitArch. All right. Kind of moving on right into the next subject.
Hi, Casey. Can I just interrupt for a moment, please?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
Hey, everybody. My name is Richie. I'm from London. I'll be moving to Turkey soon in the next couple of weeks. I'm new to InvArch. Can I just say that from the chat, I've just tried to log in, tried to open up gitarch.xyz. It's not working. Is it only for me, or is it happening to other people too?
Ooh, can maybe AJ confirm that or not?
For me, it's just loading forever.
give me a
All
second.
other apps, websites, apps are working fine, and this is just loading forever. So is it just me?
Oh, are you trying to load the repo?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Thank you for bringing that up. I didn't know that the link was not wanting to cooperate with you guys. Let me find it in here again. Let me see if I can go to it directly myself from this tweet, and if I can, then I can just drop the link.
Okay, sure.
Valerian,
Hey.
do you have a Polkadot.js wallet? Did you try connecting it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. That might be something that would help. It's pretty quick to set up if you are somewhat familiar, but if not, I can send over like a tutorial. But essentially, you just go to polkadot.js.org, click on the second row, first box says extension. This works on either Chrome or Firefox, and you can download the extension, and then essentially you just follow the prompts to create a wallet.
Yeah, that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
just make sure you write down that seed phrase.
Yeah.
100%.
You bet.
But yeah,
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. That answers my question. Thank you.
No
hey,
worries.
hey, thank you for raising it.
If you do have any more concerns, or if you do need help, we do have Jake in the call as well. I think he just recently joined. What's up, Jake?
Hey.
He's our Rust engineer as well on the
Okay.
team, and more on the tech side than myself.
Okay, thank you.
I did just drop a like more updated link. That one was working for me, guys. So if you guys continue to have any issues with that, please drop some comments in the chat or just kind of like interrupt kindly and just say, hey, it's not working, and just make us aware of that situation. Thank you. Thank you once again, Valerian, for bringing that up. Or was not aware that that link was not working for everyone else. All right. So moving on into the next subject, I would like to just kind of highlight the InvArch Ambassador program just for a short moment. I know this is a community call, so I'm not going to stick on this for very long. I would just like to highlight that InvArch is always recruiting. So I've had a lot of I guess I would say confusion this past week. I've had a lot of people message me being like, hey, I've applied, but the program's like I'm sure it's over. And I'm like, no, it's not. So we also do not reject applications. So I just want to provide some clarity here for everybody. So say you apply to the program and you are not selected, it is either for a handful of reasons. So the reason could either be one, just realistically suspect that you might be a fake account. We've had some people try things that are absolutely ridiculous. I will just actually provide one. For example, somebody created a I'm Your Venus email and a I'm like the Razor brand, and a I'm Your Venus Discord and was trying to become an ambassador. Quite laughable. So things like that, obviously, will be kind of ignored, as well as if you have any concerns as to if you have applied, why you haven't been approved yet, you are always able to message me. So my DMs are always open, because sometimes it might have just been like, hey, something was overlooked on your application, or a lot of the times what will happen is I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, you haven't had much activity here, or you didn't meet a certain criteria. And then like 2 weeks later, I come back and I revisit it and boom, you have that. So that's not totally uncommon. But the thing that I did want to highlight is like nobody just gets blatantly rejected unless, for example, like they break the community rules or something like that. So if you've been wanting to join the InvArch army, or you've been wanting to maybe try your hat at a core position, then I highly encourage you guys to submit those applications. They're available in our FAQ channel here on the community server, as well as on the updated InvArch website. If you guys haven't checked out the new designs on that, by the way, highly recommend. It's awesome. But basically, I just wanted to encourage that because a lot of people have been messaging me asking for clarity on that. So just wanted to clear the air out. Ed, does anybody else have any other questions about why they should become an ambassador right now? One other thing that I would like to highlight as well is our reward system is 100% transparent. So basically, if you get into the program, if you're a new ambassador and you're listening to this, if you go to the official links channel inside the embassy server, which you have to be an ambassador to be inside of, if you get into the embassy server, if you go to the official links channel, check out that ambassador handbook. There's also a Russian translation available. So I highly recommend you guys check that out because it highlights everything. It gives clear instructions for everything, as well as like literal, if I do this, how much Varch do I get answer. So it's very transparent. Highly recommend everyone who wants to become a member, please send your application, send me a DM and let me know that you've applied. Does anybody have any questions before I kind of move on from the subject? I don't want to just stay on the ambassador program because this is about the community.
Yes, I have just one question about the ambassadors. Last week on the community call, Casey, you had said about there were going to be an influx of a lot of ambassadors.
Yes. So
I
actually,
can quote you directly. You said a ton of ambassadors were going to come, and so I understand maybe not the exact numbers, but can you give us any updates about that? Because I do think it's important for the community.
yes. So actually, there has been actually over 100 new ambassadors have been invited. Not everyone has joined yet, of course. So, but just for clarification, we wanted to do kind of an expansion for everyone. So once again, for those of you guys who have applied and you may be like, hey, why haven't I heard back? I highly recommend you check your DMs because there's a good possibility you might have an application or an invitation sitting there waiting for you to join. We wanted to do a large expansion because we have I'm gonna be honest. Right now, we're kind of in our peak. We're in our prime, and we want to like really keep this excitement going. This wave. We have a lot of community support behind us right now. We're shipping like crazy. Um, and so it's just really a really good time for us as well. We have a lot of interest inside the ambassador program, and I would like to see that continue. We have term limits as well in place, so individuals who are like, "Yo, like I've waited for like a month to get into the program." Um, if you wait, like I'm telling you right now, if you are that dedicated and you wait around for months to get into the program, hands down you're gonna get in because of the way that we do term limits and the way that it all just like kind of shifts around. If you're that dedicated, you want to be an ambassador, you want to earn some rewards inside of our program, you will get that opportunity. I would just say just be patient and try to constantly improve like your content creation because like for our ambassadors are able to do designs and articles for a creation flow process as well as if you're a core member, you have even bigger responsibilities. So for those individuals who are interested, once again, submit an application, please. I would love to get you in if you haven't been. So, once again, good question. Thank you. Um, so, really quickly, moving on from the ambassador stuff, I would like to highlight this week as well. Like I said, this week has been jam-packed with stuff. So, I want to highlight really quickly the InvArch that we partnered with Subquery. So we partnered with Subquery to make scalable data indexing tooling available for on-chain NFT assets. Once again, this is a very short little article, so I'm going to read through it as fast as I can for those of our audience who cannot read English. So the .sama ecosystem, Web3. Although blockchain technology is only several years old and picking up immense steam, centralized networks and technical stacks are still more popular than their decentralized counterparts. A major reason for this is that blockchain networks and the data stored on them can be complicated and slow to access. This is why the team at InvArch is extremely happy to share that they are partnering with Subquery to make intuitive and fast data indexing solutions available to developers building on the InvArch network and Tinkernet parachain. So, InvArch is a leading-edge Layer 1 blockchain that is built to support and empower the future creator economy by providing a new foundation through its powerful NFT primitives and DAO solutions. InvArch is designed not just to allow new products of development to take flight, but also to change how individuals and teams can develop together, built on the Substrate blockchain framework and designed to launch on the Polkadot ecosystem as a parachain. The Tinkernet parachain is the canary network of the InvArch network. Designed as the IP asset and accelerated development staging grounds for the Kusama ecosystem, the Tinkernet serves as a trio of testing purposes, one for the developers who maintain the network, one for the developers who build on top of the network, and one for the end users of dApps and applications inside of the ecosystem. Subquery is a blockchain developer toolkit facilitating the construction of Web3 applications of the future. A subquery project is a complete API to organize and query data from Layer 1 chains. Currently servicing Polkadot, Substrate, Avalanche, Algorand, Terra, and Cosmos, starting with Juno, projects, this data as a service allows developers to focus on their core use case and front end without wasting time building a custom backend for data processing activities. In the future, Subquery Network intends to replicate this scalable and reliable solution in a completely decentralized manner. So, Subquery is an excellent technical solution that quickly indexes and analyzes data at speeds comparable to and superior Web 2 counterparts. The open source origin of the project and its decentralization contribute to the stability of the network, providing almost 100% uptime and easy configurations. Fast and easy access to data is essential for the InvArch network to provide a revolutionary new world for developers to build leading-edge dApps. Immediately after Tinkernet started producing blocks on the Kusama network, the InvArch team focused on integrating subquery solutions for NFT primitives stored on-chain. This was fast and efficient, thanks to the open source code and outstanding technical support from the subquery team. As the ultimate layer 1 for the future creator economy, InvArch will have a vast amount of data stored on chain. A large load of this data will be indexed and need to be referenced quickly, whether for the sake of on-chain analytical tools or superpowered dApps built using InvArch's InV4 protocol. This is where subquery makes a huge difference. Different dApps developed on InvArch and Tinkernet will benefit from subquery's native Polkadot and Kusama integrations. Thanks to the shared security and native interoperability provided by the Polkadot and Kusama relays, the indexing and query services for InvArch and Tinkernet are completely managed by subquery and provided to the Polkadot community for free in subquery's Explorer. You can play around with it using the Explorer without implementing any code. IP sets are indexed by subquery and available for data exploration and fast querying. I think I'm saying that word correctly. Here you can see information about an IP set as well as the IP files that it holds. From the other end, you can also query information about individuals' IP files, such as their IPFS hash or what IP set they are inside, if any. So for those of you who would like to actually review that article yourself later, again, I'll drop the link. But that was just a quick little read through for those of you who unfortunately don't have the ability to be able to read these articles before they're translated. So, very exciting news. You guys can actually, I would like to say you guys can expect another partnership announcement likely this month. But just to kind of drive that excitement a little bit more, we have a lot of things packed for this month, guys. But does anybody have a question regarding to subquery? No questions regarding subquery. Okay, totally cool. All right, so yeah, that's the most recent partnership that we've had. That is also updated in our InvArch community knowledge base for those of you guys who have been accessing that. Once again, was very happy to provide that for all of you. So moving on into probably the most exciting bit of it, I would like to highlight that the teams behind Tinkernet and Basculus have joined forces to host the first ever LBP event in the .Sama ecosystem. So, excuse me. LBP stands for Liquidity Bootstrapping Pool. The .Sama ecosystem, with all eyes on the team behind the Tinkernet parachain and the steady flow of alpha day after day that has been alluding to its revolutionary potential, many people have been wondering when DEX. First, the team needed to decide the best approach to price discovery and distribution that would ensure an ideal playing field for all and fair price discovery. Price discovery is how buyers and sellers jointly set an asset's price according to a price that both sides find acceptable. While there are many amazing DEXs in the ecosystem, the team behind Tinkernet came to the solid conclusion that there is one approach to price discovery that stands above all others. It is with this conclusion that the team is absolutely thrilled to announce that the Tinkernet parachain is partnering up with Basculus Finance to host the very first liquidity bootstrapping pool event in the .Sama ecosystem. What is liquidity bootstrapping pool? Before diving into what a liquidity bootstrapping pool is, otherwise known as an LBP, it is important to understand the underlying fundamentals of what a liquidity pool is. For this, we recommend readers check out the video below by Finematics on liquidity pools. We're not going to go over that video, obviously. It's over 10 minutes long. However, for those of you who don't know what this is, I highly recommend you click that article and you actually recap later after this community call. You go back and you watch that video. Lots of good information in there. You will want to know the differences. In a normal liquidity pool, the two asset types are set at an even ratio. However, with a liquidity bootstrap pool, the liquidity pool could start with a 10 to 90 split between two token pairs. Over time, the price will regulate itself as an effect of trading volume and drive the liquidity pool to a more even 20-80 split until eventually reaching a more normal 50-50 split by the end of the LBP event. The main inspiration behind an LBP is the ability to launch tokens with low capital requirements that also provide a strong degree of protection against the whales and bots in the crypto space. This is done by disincentivizing frontrunners and whales from getting a better deal than those with less to spend. To achieve this, a 2-token pool is set up with a project and a collateral token. The weights are then set in the favor of the project token at first. Over time, a gradual flip occurs where the collateral coin is favored by the end of the token sale. Controllers can calibrate the sale to keep the price relatively stable to maximize revenue or decline the price to the desired minimum. LBP events are the ideal solutions for projects like the InvArch Tinkernet that want to get tokens into the hand of their broad user base and community without the limitations of a rapidly increasing price curve that works against them. So, the first LBP in .sama. In the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, the HydraDX team, or HydraDex team, has made LBP one of the core functions of their Basilisk parachain. Thanks to their tech, any project that wants to determine the value of its token can go through this process to establish a fair and reasonable price. We are very excited to announce that the very first project to hold a liquidity bootstrapping pool will be the Tinkernet parachain. And Basilisk will be the very first project to provide the infrastructure and host an LBP campaign inside .sama. After the smashing success of the Tinkernet crowdloan, the growing excitement around UtilDAO, the Daoist CDK, and the GitArch dApp, and the imminent utility of the Tinkernet, it is clear that the time to make Tinker token a freely available asset is now. So the LBP launch date is to be determined. It's estimated that this will be at the end of September, but no official date has been given yet, so please keep your eyes and ears peeled for an update on that. Both teams are ready to launch this historic event and are looking forward to a wide and fair token distribution that ensures the availability of Tinker for all Web3 pioneers. So what is Hydra and what is Basilisk? So HydraDX is a cross-chain liquidity protocol built on Substrate. Its mission is to enable frictionless liquidity for all crypto assets by building the first of its kind multi-asset liquidity pool, the HydraDX Omnipool. With the Omnipool, HydraDX breaks the traditional conception according to which assets are traded in pairs using isolated pools. Basilisk is not a mere canary network of Hydra. It is an independent chain that has the mission to enable frictionless liquidity bootstrapping for new crypto assets. Basilisk is a natural stepping stone on the journey towards building the liquidity infrastructure of the future. Together, Basilisk and Hydra create a synergy that caters to the varying needs of crypto assets throughout their entire life cycle. Together, Basilisk and Hydra create a synergy that caters to the varying needs of crypto assets throughout their entire life cycle. Oh, that like the whole line is repeated. Bootstrap liquidity in the early stages using Basilisk, then move over to HydraDX Omnipool to unlock precedented liquidity in an ocean of assets. InvArch is a leading-edge Layer 1 blockchain built to support and empower the future creator economy by providing a new foundation through its powerful NFT primitives and DAO solutions. The InvArch network features the most advanced NFT primitives and DAO solutions produced in the Polkadot ecosystem and is a major project pushing the limits of Web3 further than they've ever been possible in other ecosystems. InvArch is designed not just to allow new products of development to take flight, but also to change how individuals and teams can develop together. InvArch is built on the Substrate blockchain framework and designed to launch on the Polkadot ecosystem as a parachain. The Tinkernet parachain is the canary network of the InvArch network. Designed as the IP asset and accelerated development staging grounds for the Kusama ecosystem, the Tinkernet serves a trio of testing purposes. I've already repeated that part, but I'll go ahead and finish it. One for the developers who maintain the network, one for the developers who build on top of the network, and one for the end users of dApps and applications inside of the ecosystem. So I highly recommend for further details and further announcements regarding the LBP event, you follow both teams on Twitter. We will be sharing a lot of announcements regarding this. It's literally like arguably the most exciting thing that we've ever done. We're very excited because this is going to be our first price discovery, as well as it's a way to truly see another way of the community coming together to support us I will say it once, and I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it again. The amount of community support that we receive as a project has been overwhelming in a positive way. We've had an outpour of support, especially in the past 2 months, it seems like. So from the entire team here at InvArch, we thank you all so much. It's a blessing to wake up every day and see the community encouraging us to keep going, keep building, keep shipping. And it's definitely, it's kept us going during, especially, the bear market. Everybody's been kind of down because of prices and everything of that nature. But it's a lot easier to be happy when, you have a team and a community that's excited for what you're doing. Um, with that being said, does anybody have anything they would like to ask about the LBP? If I can answer it now, I will. If I can't, I will write down your question and try to get back to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have a question.
Yep.
Regarding the LBP event. According to you guys, from the announcement, you said the ratio, the pairing of the two tokens, they won't be paired in equal proportion. That they could be paired in, like, say, ratio 10 to 90. So what I want to know is how does this affect the price of the token? Does it have any effects on the price of the token? Because you said it to prevent whales from running the stuff and all. So how does it affect the price of the token?
Oh, you're saying like how does the actual the scalability? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's the tokens are usually paired in, say, like 50-50, you get. So but this one you said the pairing will be, say, ratio 10 to 90. So what I want to know is, does it really have any effect on the price of, say, Tinker?
Yeah, so the price actually it does. So over time the price will regulate itself as an effect of the trading volume, and so it'll drive the liquidity pool to a more even split. And it does that basically until it hits a 50-50. So basically, if you do read the article, it highlights this very well. So what it talks about is, I'll just kind of read it again, just to highlight it. So in a normal liquidity pool, the two asset types are set in an even ratio. However, with an LBP, the liquidity pool could start with a 1090 split, like what we were talking about, between the two token pairs. So for this, it's Tinker Kusama. And over time, the price will regulate itself as an effect of trading volume and drive the liquidity pool to a more even 20-80 split until eventually reaching a more normal 50-50 split by the end of the LBP event. So if you're asking, like, will this actually affect the price? Yes, but it's not going to affect the price in a way that it's going to make it like unaffordable for community members. That's the whole point of that, is basically to make it to where it doesn't kind of like, in a sense, run away on everyone, and that's how you get whales and bots and things of that nature. So the LBP is actually directly inspired to prevent those types of things from happening and be able to evenly, or as evenly as you can, distribute the token, so that way it's not just like owned by a small group of people. It's distributed fairly.
Hey, Casey, I might could add a little bit onto this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not an LBP expert. I've only seen one of them before, but my understanding, kind of with a normal like token sale on a DEX, it's gonna it starts out super cheap, and then the bots come in like literally the first second immediately, and the price just spikes, and that's not necessarily good for anyone. And then the bots dump on everyone else that got in a couple seconds after. With the LBP, the price starts like higher, and I almost think that even if no one purchases, then the price will start to decline over time. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but if the price starts higher and then it goes lower, and if people won't buy it to like support it at that price, then it continues going down to some lower value. So bots don't want to jump in at the beginning and buy a bunch when it's this expensive price. So you can sit there and watch it from the beginning and wait till the price goes down, and then when you feel like it's a reasonable price, then you can buy in.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I understand this better. Because Yeah, I get this part now. Okay, thank you very much. I understand.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you for that explanation as well, Jake. Yeah, the whole point of the LBP is to literally disincentivize exactly what Jake was just talking about. You know, the second it goes live, a bunch of bots come in, buy it at the cheapest price possible, and then everybody else, and like normal human beings, come in, they buy it all, and then they get dumps on. This is directly meant to disincentivize that. So it's actually it is really actually better for the community because the community can determine, they can watch the price and determine when they want to buy in, rather than having to be forced to just ape in and hope for the best. Once again, thank you for that great question, and thank you, Jake, for providing another like better explanation. So, but with that being said, I would like to just highlight a couple more things. So moving on from the LBP event, to highlight some things with Udl DAO. I would like to highlight that if you guys missed it, if you guys are Udl DAO members, Udl DAO members can be expecting an airdrop of Tinker in the future. So for those of you who aren't in the DAO yet, you still do have time as well before it gets a little bit more difficult to get into the DAO. The end of the month is nearing, and by that I am meaning the bonfire event. So for those of you who might not be listening, this actually is the largest community call we've ever had. So thank you all for joining. I just realized that. But to highlight, I would like to say by the end of this month, if you guys aren't familiar, the Udl DAO tickets, if they're not all bought up, they are going to be burned. So once again, if you want to get into Udl DAO right now, while it's very easy to do so, highly recommend you do so. The cheapest entry point is 1 KSM. So I will actually really quickly, while I'm talking about this, I will go and I will grab you guys the link to the Udl DAO tickets. Here we go. I got it. I'm gonna drop it for you guys now. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys check it out. If you're interested, buy one. I'm not trying to like force it on y'all, but I will say it's going to be the coolest place to be for like actually getting to see some of Tinkernet's like features and things like that. The DAOist CDK, when that goes live, you're gonna get to see firsthand experience here. So highly recommend, if you guys are into that, you want to experience it, you want to be some of the first. Highly recommend you get in, buy in now before the bonfire event. As well as if you guys are interested in learning more about Udl DAO, we actually do have an entire roadmap. I will drop the link for that as well right there. So you all are more than welcome to check that out. I'm not going to go through that by any means right now. But once again, it's there for you all if you want to use it. So with that being said, I would also like to go ahead and announce, so there was 10 ambassadors selected to win a Udl DAO ticket. We announced this, I believe, Monday of this week, or maybe last weekend. I can't exactly quite remember. But it was said that we would announce the winners of the ambassadors who are getting the Udl DAO tickets on this community call. So if they're not here, they will be reached out to via Discord. But if you're here, congratulations. So I'm just going to go ahead and read through the names now. So first winner is Chaos627, hashtag 5846. Second winner is Ali Byrne, hashtag 3907. Third winner is Zaudan, hashtag 6132. Fourth winner is Voron23, hashtag 9596. Fifth winner is Eugene265, hashtag 6215. Sixth winner is Anthony, hashtag 5438. The seventh winner is CryptoFox, hashtag 7176. The eighth winner is Ruslana, hashtag 8186. The ninth winner is Aloyd, hashtag 0803. And the 10th winner is Hopper255, hashtag 6985. Congratulations, guys. You have won a ticket into Udl DAO. be reaching out to you guys shortly for getting you guys those tickets and getting your addresses. Congratulations. I'm excited to get you guys into the DAO. I'm very, very excited for you all to be part of it. It's really cool to be getting some of our ambassadors, be giving you guys a ticket out of this competition to join. Very, very excited. So, with that being said, we've announced the winners of the Udall DAO contest. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, I got to clear my throat. I would like to say, what else can you guys expect this month? So you guys can expect the InvArch private beta, another partnership announcement, as well as a Twitter space with Basilisk in the near future. Once again, be keeping your eyes peeled for that because there's going to be a lot of updates going on in the next 2 weeks regarding the LBP event. So once again, guys, just make sure you're staying up to date with all of our updates because we will keep you updated. Just kind of closing down here, I would like to say if you guys haven't, once again, follow the new GetArch Twitter profile on Twitter. It's definitely worth it. We're providing a ton of updates this entire week. We've pushed a ton of alpha, and you guys can expect that trend to continue. So with that being said, guys, we've almost been going on here for almost 15 minutes. So to kind of just close down really quickly, I would like to thank all of you guys for joining me this morning. It's been great talking with all of you guys, the largest community call we've ever had. So thank you all so much for coming out and joining. I would like to say once again, shout out to Dustin for joining us this morning. Shout out to AJ, shout out Jake for also joining us and providing that excellent explanation. Shout out to all of our ambassadors and community members who took the time out of their day to join us. I know for some of you guys it's extremely late right now, and then for others it's like early morning like it is for me. So no matter what time it was for you guys, thank you all for joining me. I love starting the weekend, kicking it off with you guys, and I hope that this is your favorite place to kick your weekend off too, guys. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope you all are looking forward to the LBP event, more exciting announcements, and just another great week here in the InvArch community. I will see you all next week. Later, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome weekend.
Yes. GM.
GM. Bye.